Y'all ready to be history?
It started.
Welcome.
Hi.
Y'all ready to be history?
It started.
Welcome
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
to the Pro Audio Suite
These guys are professional, they're motivated.
with Text the VO stars. George Wittam, founder of Source Elements. Robert Marshall, international audio engineer. Darren Robertson and global voice. Andrew Peters, thanks to Tribooth. Austrian audio, making passion heard. Source Elements. George the Tech Wittam and Robbo and AP's international demos. To find out more about us, check theproaudiosuite.com.
Line up, ladies!
Here we go.
And of course, don't forget the code TRIPAP 200, and that will get you $200 off your Tribooth. Now, we're going to talk microphones today because there's one thing I don't think we've ever discussed, or not in depth anyway, is RF on a shotgun mic. Now, I'm assuming RF is radio frequency, but for anybody like me, what does it actually really mean, and should it be something that we consider when we're buying a shotgun mic?
You mean the fact that the microphone uses what they call an RF technology? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure Robert would know more about the details without me having to Google it. Yeah. I've read about RF microphones for a few times, and I think one of the side effects of a mic being RF technology, which, by the way, has nothing to do with transmitting a radio signal, right? It's the ability for the microphone to reject noise. I don't know if I've ever heard of a 416, for example, which is using this RF technology, as having an issue picking up radio frequency noise. If anybody else has heard of that, you know, if you've had a mic, a 416 picking up RFI, let me know. But one of the advantages of that technology is it's very highly immune to humidity.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
And why that exactly is definitely beyond my pay grade.
Isn't it something to do with the way inside the microphone that each part talks to itself, like talks to each other? It uses like a radio frequency inside the microphone to communicate with itself. That's my vague recollection of what it actually is.
That is certainly plausible. I just wish I was more understanding of the technology. And
so we're talking about it rejecting radio frequencies. Is that what we're saying? Like a shielded cable would reject?
It's
like magnetic.
I think that's what it does. And if anyone's listening, we should do what everybody else does on their YouTube things. Leave us a comment in the comment section.
Can I do story time and read it to you?
Yes.
Do story time.
Oh, I'm sitting comfortably, George.
But read it in your best bedtime story voice, George, okay?
Yeah.
Well, it would have to be in a German accent. I'm not going to do that. A bedtime German accent. I'm not doing that.
No, that's scary. That's really scary, actually.
But there is a whole white paper from Sennheiser, and it's written by Manfred Hibbing, and it's Sennheiser's professional MKH condenser microphone. Sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. But basically what it says is that a high RF frequency solves a problem. So when the replacement of electronic valves by transistors commenced at the end of the 50s, this change was also under consideration for condenser microphones. Reduced size, low supply voltages, and lower power consumption were regarded as great benefits, as well as being able to use simpler microphone cables. However, there was a basic problem. Direct replacement of the valve by a transistor was not possible due to the mismatch between the high impedance of the condenser capsule and the low input impedance of the transistor. Hence, for optimal matching, the capsule impedance needed to be drastically reduced. And then they go on to explain the impedance of capsules, et cetera, et cetera. So down to the next paragraph, how does RF microphone technology actually work? The principle is simple. After all of that.
Yeah, sure it is.
Sound waves deflect the diaphragm of the condenser capsule and change the capacitance between the diaphragm and the nearby back electrode or backplate. Contrary to the more common low-frequency AF condenser method, The capacitance variations are not converted directly into audio signals, but modulate a high-frequency radio frequency signal generated by an oscillator inside the microphone. This signal is then immediately demodulated inside the microphone, thus recreating the audio signal, but with a very low source impedance that is well suited for driving a transistor amplifier. Thusly, an RF condenser microphone is basically comprised of a transmitter and a receiver that are directly wired together. The RF signal is therefore kept inside the microphone. Only the audio signal is supplied to its output, just like all other microphones. So yeah, what you were saying was pretty much correct. I mean, that's what's going on.
That's unusual for me. What happened?
You picked it up through osmosis somewhere along the way.
That's right.
Can I just say Robert would make that a lot clearer?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure. The thing with humidity, and here's a little paragraph about this, there is no other important benefit of the RF principle for practical use. The low electrical impedance of the capsule provides outstanding immunity against detrimental effects due to humidity, because even then, the leak resistance is very much larger than the capsule impedance. Thus, MKH microphones, which I understand all of those, all MKH mics are RF mics, they're well suited for outdoor use. So this is why MKH mics, no matter whether they are the MKH 415, 416, and I'm paraphrasing here, or any of the MKH stuff like the MKH 40, there's the 8000 series, right? They have the 8030, 8020, 8030, 8040, 8050, 8060. They have a whole new line. All of them are using this technology, and the reason for why it still persists to this day is it's excellent outside. And thereby, it's also excellent in a sweaty, hot, muggy voiceover booth.
If it's 4x3x6, yes, indeed.
Especially if it's 4x3x6. Absolutely.
Yeah. Talk about outdoors, though, because this was something else where I got stuck in the rabbit hole that I mentioned before we started recording. Then there was a discussion about using shotgun mics inside. Now, this is basically for drama and stuff like that. So a boom op using a mic where they wouldn't use a shotgun inside. They would use a small diaphragm pencil condenser.
Yeah.
Now, if that's the case, if you're a field audio guy, why would you not use a pencil condenser as a voiceover person inside?
I don't know. I did have a pair, and I still do have a pair of pencil condensers, the classic Octava mics that are so popular.
Yep.
And I used to use them to try to do field recordings, and I didn't know that much about mics at the time, and I would get the dreaded, we sometimes call it motorboating. It was like this,
Yep.
Fluttering sound,
Yep.
And I didn't know why it was happening. I just knew it would happen, and it would always happen if I was outdoors, and sometimes I was like in a really humid environment, and it would get really bad. And I was like, oh no, the mic's bad. And then I'd bring the mic home, and I'd pull it out of the box later, and it would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So because with AF microphones or audio frequency condensers, because they store a charge on a high impedance capsule, it's easy for that charge to find a way and leak across the insulation by riding on water molecules, which cause those motorboat or crackling effects. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's just another added benefit of an RF mic is that you're just never going to have that problem. But Neumann large diaphragm condenser mics, where you have two diaphragms extremely close to each other, even if it's a cardioid, there's still two. There's a capsule, there's the diaphragm in the front that takes the sound wave, and then there's one on the back that picks up the signal.
Yeah.
Creating the changes in capacitance, blah, blah, blah. And that is just, those are so close together that water molecules actually transmit the electricity.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And create the static.
Yeah. Do you know anybody who does use a pencil mic for doing voiceover in their booth?
I do. I know people that use the 880 series or the 8000 series, but those are MKH mics. So I believe all the 8000 series MKH mics are also RF.
Is that the 8050? Is that
like the 8050, 8040?
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
8020, 8030 are tiny,
Yep.
little stubby capsules. I mean, they're mini because they've just, I guess they have the most condensed electronics. And boy, are they expensive.
Yes.
Well, this is a stereo set, so I'm looking at $2,800 for a stereo set. So
Don't look at the Sheps then.
yeah, no, I know. Chef takes it to another level, right?
Yes.
But yeah, the MKH40 is going to be about $1,400 US. So, if somebody's comparing mics and they look at this minuscule, laughably small mic, and then they think, why would I ever use that over a 416? Well, that's because it doesn't have the negative effects of a shotgun microphone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any of the negatives. It doesn't have the negatives in terms of off-axis phase problems.
Yep.
You get a way more accurate pattern as you go off-axis, right? So that's one reason. It's certainly very, very nice to work with because it's so small.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's never going to get in the way. But they're going to be extremely pop sensitive, right? Because the capsule's right there at the grill. It's right in the front. Like any pencil mic, they work great on voice, but they pop like a mofo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They pop really bad. So you have to have a good mic technique and maybe a good pop screen.
Yep.
But they are quite an upgrade. Some really have found them to be quite an upgrade, like an 8040 from a 41.6.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would go with the 8050 because that's a super cardioid. That would be my choice
Yeah.
if I was going this direction.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny with shotguns, and we were talking about this also before we jumped on, because the road kit I set my daughter up with for her travels, I gave her the NTG3. And we were just doing some testing a few hours ago just to make sure
And
things
that
are
is an
working.
RF mic too, I believe.
Yeah, it is an RF mic, but it's quite bottom end, kind of, It's got
It's EQ'd very differently. Yeah, it has
is.
a very different tone from the 41.6.
Which I think for location is perfect, because the further you get away from the source, the sound source, the thinner the audio gets. But if they've got that sort of high bottom end, it actually keeps some of that in there in the sound, which is great for that kind of work. But it also sounds really good on a female voice. I mean, she sounds great on that NTG3. But when I put it up in front of me, I had one for a while. And,
Mud Central, huh?
It
Like
just didn't
boomy
work.
and muddy.
Oh, it wasn't good.
You lose articulation. It doesn't have a crisp attack. It's very...
Yeah.
There's another mic that's really popular because of its price point, and that's the Synco D2. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Very cheap shotgun mic. And of course, it looks a lot like a 41.6.
Of course.
I mean, same color, same shape, same size, same everything.
Yeah.
So, of course, it gets sold all over the Amazons and stuff as a cheap 41.6. But it sounds nothing at all like a 41.6. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
It's a very, very flat mic. Very flat. Very dull. So when somebody sends me that sample, I know immediately I'm going to have to help the top end. And when I do that, up comes the noise. Yeah. And that's the other problem with small diaphragm mics. Making a small diaphragm pencil or shotgun mic sound as low noise as a large diaphragm mic is no small feat.
No.
It's very difficult to do. So that's another problem. Like you're never going to get a small capsule mic to be as quiet from a self-noise perspective as you will a large diaphragm mic. Even a cheaper let's look at the Rode NT1. 4 or so dB self-noise. You're never, ever going to find a small diaphragm mic with that kind of a measurement.
Yeah.
What's funny is I'm reading the specs right now from the Sennheiser MKH 8050. They don't even quote the self-noise.
Interesting.
Which to me is a way of saying, hey, it ain't so great, but it doesn't matter. This is a location mic. You're going to use it outside, so it doesn't need to be that quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, it's a $1,400 mic, and they don't quote the spec. So I find that kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, if you're buying a shotgun, and I know we've banged on about this before, but I still reckon the best value, the best bang for buck in the shotgun, any shotgun mic, is the NTG5 from Rode.
Yeah.
It sounds
Once
fantastic.
they got over there,
Yeah.
they had some growing pains with that mic.
They did. Yeah.
We definitely had a few people with some issues. And it seems that has been sorted, because I haven't heard of any of those kind of complaints of noise or whatever for well over a year now. It's been more than a year or two.
I was a victim of one of those. I had the first one they sent me, I had problems with, but sent it back and got a brand new one. So and haven't had any problems with that since. And full credit to Rode.
They've never ever had a problem replacing a mic.
Yeah, and full credit to Rode. All I sent back was the actual mic, and I got a whole new kit when they sent me back the new one. So
Nice.
It's typical of Rode, really. Yeah.
Oh, so you've got a nice little shock mount for your 41.6 as well.
I've now got 2 of their shock mounts, which is kind of nice.
Well, those are cool, man. If you were to go buy those pistol grip shock mounts with the Rycote style lyre mount and everything, those are going to be $100 plus easily.
Yeah, easily.
So, and then the windscreen and everything else, I mean, it's like a $150 kit plus the mic.
Yeah.
So, and I do like it. It's standard fare in my room here, that or the Austrian audio, one or the other of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, mine pretty much lives permanently in my kit, for going on the road and traveling. I have a Pelican hard case, and the 10TG5 lives in there.
Yeah.
It's just always there ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know what I need to figure out now, thinking about that, is cutting the foam in the Rode kit for my English channel so that the NTG5 fits in there. And then I've got it all in one case. That's what I need to figure out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It seemed that there was enough space in there to squeeze in a shotgun mic.
Absolutely. Just pick up the bag and away you go.
That'd be a sick kit.
It would, wouldn't it?
Oh, man.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Well, I did actually dig around, and I went on the Recording Hacks website, which is a great database of microphones, recordinghacks.com. And while it's missing mics here and there for sure, it does have pretty much all the Neumanns and Sennheisers and the bigger brands and stuff. And I found the 8050, and they actually do list a self-noise rating of 13 dBA weighted. So the Sennheiser 416 is like 16, I believe.
Okay.
And I think
so they managed to shave 3 dB of the self-noise.
I think the NTG3 is about the same, about 12 or 13 from memory.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's going to be hard to find a lower value than that. I haven't seen. I mean, maybe Sheps has something quieter, possibly. I haven't looked, but is it SCHOEP?
Yes.
Is that how you spell Sheps?
Am I thinking of
With
the engineer
P,
or
right?
is it double P?
Well, yeah, it's confusing because you have the mic called Sheps.
Yes.
And you have the engineer named
called
Sheps. And they are not spelled the same.
And I can't remember whether it's double
person.
P for the engineer or double P for the mic. It's one. One of them has 2 P's.
I guess I
in there.
guessed it right. It's SCHOEPS.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Shops. Shops. That's
Shops.
right. Yeah.
So the CMC5, which is one of the quintessential Sheps shotgun mics, is it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 different capsule options.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
Wow.
They have this huge array of capsules that thread onto the body, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
So let's look at a cardioid. Let's look at a super cardioid, the MK41. It does not list a noise spec.
Right.
There's no noise spec listed anywhere there. So
That's really, it's kind of old school, isn't it? It's like the old CMV microphones from Neumann back in the, would have been 30s, 40s.
Uh-huh.
Where you got the bottle, and instead of having a switch to go from cardioid figure 8 to Omni or whatever, you unscrewed the capsule and put a new capsule on the top.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my MKHs are my Octavus. Same deal.
Yeah.
They have 3 capsules per mic.
Yeah.
But that whole kit with 2 mics and all the capsules costs less than one of these capsules.
Yes.
So you start realizing the difference in cost is pretty stark. I mean, they said the capsules are anywhere from $800 to $1,400 for one capsule. So
Yeah.
Right.
I do like
Pretty
the idea of the Sheps, the shotgun that's blue. I mean, if you had that in the booth, and as soon as you see that color, you go, oh, okay. This is serious.
Somebody's serious. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we've got too
have you
much
ever
money.
seen their V4U model? It has a blue bottle, and then the grill has this very cool deco style grill. It's very cool looking. Look it up sometime.
What's
the
it?
V4U. And it's a neat looking mic. And it has a quirky thing. It's that the capsule has a slightly hinged head, so you can tilt the capsule forward and back a little bit. Like 10 degrees, 20 degrees.
Oh, God, that looks good.
But it's a cool looking mic.
That is very tasty. Yeah. Don't Google, Robbo. You'll blow your machine up.
Well, I'm doing it on my iPad, but it's saying there's some problem with the website and I can't get on there. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah, pretty cheap too.
Microphone V4U is a $3,000 retail. And then it has a pretty flat response curve. I mean, it has a small presence rise at a 4K, which is typical, but it's only like 2 to 3 dB rise, so it's pretty flat.
That is insane. It does look
I remember
good,
trying it at one of the NAMs or whatever and being like, wow, that's a cool sounding mic. It looks really neat.
Very tasty.
Oh, that's how much it costs? Okay.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I might get one. Not
in the next lifetime. Yeah.
I was in Tokyo and I saw a Dunhill store. And I went in there and they had these linen bucket hats and caps and stuff. I thought, wow, they're really cool. And I was looking at the price and tried on the bucket hat and it's like, yeah, I'll get that. And so I said, yeah, I'll take this one. I said, actually, I might even get the cap as well. And the guy's just looking at me going, no, you don't need the cap as well. You just take this hat. That's all you need. I'm like, really? Doing yourself out of a sale here. Okay, whatever. So I bought the thing and I'm walking back to the hotel and then I'm doing the calculation in my head and thinking I just got a bargain of $35. I sort of went, hang on a minute. I got the digital point in the wrong spot. I just paid
were you off the zero?
$350 for a bucket hat.
Yeah, right.
Oh dear. Anyway. Yeah. Oops.
Well, that was fun. Is it over?
The Pro Audio Suite with thanks to Tribooth and Austrian Audio. Recorded using Source Connect. Edited by Andrew Peters and mixed by Robbo. Got your own audio issues? Just ask Robbo.com. With tech support from George the Tech Wittam. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and join in the conversation on our Facebook group. To leave a comment, suggest a topic, or just say g'day, drop us a note at our website, proaudiosuite.com.